when it comes to courage, it can be looked at from so many perspectives. Of course, courage, we can just say courage is about doing the things that you don't want to do, that you feel afraid of doing, that you'd rather postpone or not do at all instead of saying, oh yeah, sure, I'm going to do it. Now, here's the thing. In the last 2 weeks that I've been talking about courage, I've been talking about so many different topics. And one thing they all have in common, or better said, not have in common, is all of them have a different mindset relating to it. I mean, if I talk about driving in an unknown country with unknown rules, or driving in the dark where my vision is, for me, maybe only 50-60% of what it normally is, because Dutch roads are not equipped to driving in the dark, and they like to turn off the lights, versus if I were to be abroad. Such a big difference. Or whether I'm talking about what I said yesterday. Oh, I need to address the boys next door because they're making a lot of noise and it's not acceptable, at least not for me. And I cannot concentrate, and then I become really jumpy, and I don't want that. So I need to knock on the door. Do I want to? There's a whole different motivation behind one as opposed to the other. If I take creating a blog post and then having it put on the website, well, actually, I don't mind creating a blog post, but when it comes to the website and uploading all the stuff and knowing where to put which page, especially when it comes to the whole opt-in stuff. So for you out there, I've told you I'm going to create a page where you can go to register for my challenge, which will be at the last weekend of the month. So this time it's going to be ladylexi.com/clarity, not clarity, courage challenge. Yes, we've had a clarity challenge in November, and then in December there was a Christmas challenge and New Year's challenge, and now we have the courage challenge. Oh my God, this is getting confusing. Anyway, I'm still figuring out how it all works. So I'm getting there, but I'm not there completely. So 3 totally different things, and there are probably lots more things that we can talk about. But every one of these things has something different in common. So number 4 could be doing the invoices and doing the administration. I mean, now we're talking about finances. So the first one, having to do with driving on the road, is not because I don't like driving, because I do like driving, but I have a problem with turning the light on, off, off. It's very hard for me to adjust when everything non-stop changes, and I want 100% vision. And of course, at night we don't have 100% vision, but on my end, I do everything I can possibly do. So I'm wearing contacts at night, and I do have special glasses, yellow glasses. And in case I need to wear my glasses, I also have different glasses I can put on those glasses so I can see better, because I'm kind of exceptional. I can see 100% or more during daytime. And that's why I sort of freak out when it's nighttime, because, well, when there's no light on the road, then I don't see how the road is going to continue on. And there are a lot of curves and bends in the road here in the Netherlands. So I had to tell myself the road is not going to help you to drive off all of a sudden. It's not, it's not ending all of a sudden. I had to tell myself all these things, but I also had to learn to use certain recognition points, like reflectors on the side of the road. And I also had to learn that when I go across a different road or parallel to a road which is a lot lower say for instance, a village, that I don't get distracted by dead light, because I tend to go or want to go towards where there's clarity, where there's light. Okay, so one thing has to do with vision, clarity, wanting to have perspective. The second thing, going to the neighbors, had to do with their posture, especially the youngest one out there. He just starts screaming and making gestures, and he's rude. He's downright rude. I'm not sure if it triggers things from when I was really young and I was at elementary school, because that's what kids do at that age. They make these funny gestures and they accuse you of everything. And, as adults, we normally don't do that anymore. But, well, this kid does. And because he is close by, I'm not the person to say I'm not going to talk to them, but I am the person to say, well, maybe I should speak to someone else. For instance, his dad. Well, there was an older, wiser someone there, maybe his brother, I don't know, maybe his friend, and that one understood what I wanted. We talked about it. It was a short conversation, and we were good to go. And, I know that my mom was always afraid for repercussions. And I think I've witnessed that. And, as kids, when we witness certain things, then it's very hard to escape those thoughts when you grow up. Now, the good thing was that my dad was the total opposite. He didn't care about what anyone said. So he just did his own thing. So that's good. And I'm sort of in the middle, I suppose. Although I'm inclined to say that I look a little bit more after my dad when it comes to habits. And I didn't agree with my mom about a lot of things, but I do understand where her fear came from, which was instilled when she was still young, and every day it got instilled by her mom, her half-sister, the people during World War II. A lot of things happened. So going to the third example, and then we get to fatigue, and maybe the fourth one too. So the third example has to do with a new platform. Well, I'm getting better at it. And every time I succeed a little bit more, I get more energy and I'm more like, oh yeah, let's get this done. Have I figured out the platform? Totally no. So I am aware that every time I start doing it, I'm like, okay, I need to go back to the beginning, get an overview. What do I know? What don't I know? So how can I do it in the most simple of ways? That's my challenge. So it has to do with technique and not being sure where to go. And I'm already done with it. You just saw my face. The fourth thing, when it comes to invoices, on one hand, of course, invoices are amazing things to do. It means that I did something good. But on the other hand, it also shows me that I'm still not where I want to be. So finances have always been a hard thing for me. Does that stem from back in the days when I was still a kid? Oh, absolutely, because there was a lot to do when it came to finances. So again, different mindset. The third and the fourth one both came from me growing up. Actually, the first one too. So that leaves the second one. So I talked about, oh my God, a year ago. I totally draw a blank. I know that I talked about courage when it came to the neighbors, when it came to finances, when it came to posting stuff, and I totally draw a blank on the other one. Oh yeah, there was driving the car. That's the one thing. Yeah, Well, my mom was afraid of everything. So she was afraid of me riding a bike. And then when I wanted to drive a motorcycle, everyone said, no, don't do it. And they wanted me to get me in the car. I think the biggest change for me still is and was the one thing that's different when you learn to shift gear is that you cannot, when you shift gear, you can go back in gear before you enter the curve, and then you can really smoothly define how fast or how slow you want to go. And when you're driving in an automatic car, you can't. The only thing you can do is hit your brake. And I guess that's the one thing. But I always had, for some reason, a little bit of fear of flying out of the curve on the bike too. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with my coordination. My coordination has never been that good. But it's not like I ever have been in trouble. So again, mindset. Where does it come from? Is it something I've seen happening? Is it something that I have experienced one time that made it really traumatic? In none of the cases I can actually say that's true. I mean, yes, I know that people did lose control and flew over the highway, through the guarding rail and ended up, but that's not me. And when it came to invoices, or when it comes to invoices, sure, there are guidelines. Maybe it's related to taxes. Oh my God, what are they going to say now? I don't know. Can be. I don't know, really. And that's what I mean. When it comes to what's behind all of it, do we know what our mindset is? So for a number of things, I do know, because when I eliminate everything and go back to the core essence, it's about not being good enough. And what I'm using courage for is actually the opposite, to become and be good enough. So I know I'm good enough, but there's being good enough as when it comes to the person I am, and then there is always room for improvement. And then there's the dream that I've got, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be when it comes to my dream. And that's, so maybe, making those invoices is related to that part. I don't know. Maybe when I go and put things on there on the website, same story. Although, if I look at it from a standpoint of, hey, what was it like and where am I now? Oh my God, I'm so totally proud of myself. I'll honestly say I am, because I know I made progress, and I don't only know because I see it, but others have witnessed it too and have told me so. So, and that's important, in order to gain courage, we have to look at what we've achieved so we can show ourselves we can do it. So one of the things that has been puzzling me for a while now is, I said it before, when you're not 25 yet, your brains are still developing, and probably they're still developing a little bit after 25, but apparently 25 is the time they give your brains to develop. So it has to do with being able to relate to other people, for instance. I'm twice that age, and then some. So with age, we get more experiences. So they say the brain is slower when it comes to learning new tricks. So we have these, how do I say it? These connections between the nerves. So we know how to do certain things or how to learn new things. So we create new synapses, so new nerve endings, new nerve pathways. That's the word I was looking for. in order to learn new tricks and learn how to do new things. And when we get older, we are more based on experience. So when we're younger, we don't have the experience, and when we're older, we do. And I do believe that sometimes that experience makes us more careful. But then again, I also believe that experience also makes us more courageous. Because, like I said, when it comes to the website, if I compare it to what my websites looked like up till last year, then oh my God, what a huge difference that was. It looks so much better now. But yes, I have to push myself every time to say, okay, let's go and do the next thing. If I look at myself before December and now, I've been going, not live, I've been posting. This is day 45. Here you go, day 45. So for a month and a half, I've been posting every day. And I'm actually kind of proud of it. So, no, not actually kind of proud of it. I am very proud of it that I'm doing it. And there are moments and I'm thinking like, what am I going to talk about? Haven't I said it all? And then the next moment, like in this video, I'm thinking, but there's so much to share about it, because it's not a one size fits all. It's not just do or press this button and then it's okay. There's so much more involved when it comes to courage. And well, it feels good. So this is probably number five when we talk about things. I had to get myself to say, I'm going to be consistent posting every day. And probably because I told my coach, and probably because I told my coach I could do it, this has been happening. And the cool thing is, when it comes to YouTube, I post long form content on there. So that's 10+ minute videos. And I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes I post like a 30-second video, which usually consists of a number of cards. Sometimes, but that's very rare, I post like 3-minute videos on there. But usually, lately at least, I've been posting 10-minute plus videos on there. So I'll be honest, whether or not I'll create a video actually depends on how I feel, how tired I am, and how I look. So yes, I have been posting videos and recording videos with me wearing glasses. And well, right now I'm not, and I'm actually, part of me wants to sleep, but part of me is also still very much awake. Not like it was yesterday, because then I was all hyped and adrenaline and all. Knocking on their door or on their window and the beat of the music. And then, of course, recording the video, telling you about this. But today, it's more like, funny how this works. And, I actually had to do my invoices just now. So that's probably what triggered it. And then combined with, what happened yesterday. And also knowing that I want to get that announcement out there. So when I was in the kitchen earlier, I was thinking about, so I'm going to get that opt-in page out there so people know. Go to ladylexi.com/ there you go again. Courage challenge. I constantly want to say clarity challenge, courage challenge. And then I was like, okay, so what do I have for them to get? And I do have PDFs, so actually I do have something for you that's interesting. And I was like, okay, so am I going to send them to an email list? Does that mean that I already have to set up all the emails? But there was something else prior to that, which was, so I linked them to an event, and the last time I did so, it did was count down, and that was it. And I'm still like, yeah, but then I go live, so how? I have no clue. I don't have any clue how it works. So I need to figure that out. And then I tell myself, go back to the beginning, go back to the basis. What's the minimal thing? Okay, the minimal thing is that people know they need to go to ladylexi.com/courage challenge. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And then they get that PDF. Well, I've got several PDFs, so I can make sure that you get that. I know what I need to do for you in order to download it. So does that mean that I need to make sure there is an email follow-up? Yeah, preferably, but for you to get PDF, no. For me to make sure that something is following the whole path, yeah. Straight away, no. As for the event, same story. What I do, let people know it's going to be in the last weekend of the month. So, and that's going to be every last weekend in the month, unless there's something really weird going on. So, I do believe that courage and consistency are very related. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Well, except maybe for driving the car. Getting older, getting more experience, seeing how people are changing, and with everything getting busier on the road, it's a little bit harder for me to be at ease. But then again, compared to most people, I'm probably really at ease. I just think a lot about a lot of things. That's the hyper part of the ADHD, Things are constantly going on in my mind. So, but the advantage of that part is that people can relate to me, or I can relate to people. So I usually understand what they're talking about, especially when they say, that they think about so many things, because I do too. And actually, that's a good thing. So anyway, today is simply about where does it come from when it comes to courage? What is holding us back? Which mindset is related to us not doing things? Sometimes it's a one-time thing, like a traumatic event. Sometimes it's something that's related to how we were brought up and how our parents were brought up, what surroundings we are brought up, what we have experienced. And sometimes it's about doing something new, and that our brains are not wired yet to understand what we need to do. And then we are sort of like, hey, are you curious enough, or do we want to back out? Regardless of what it is, I think it's about taking one step at a time. And, when I was talking about driving the car, it's the perfect example. And why? Because there is something called emotions, and then there's something called ratio. And when I'm driving the car, it's about using ratio. And if you use ratio often enough, then things get so much easier. And that's why I said I learn myself little tricks, things I need to focus on, because then it gets easier. And I also talk to other people about it. So I'm like, okay, it's not just me, and that's a good thing. And where I can improve things, I improve things. And that same thing applies to me posting every day. Same thing. It's about consistency, taking one step at a time, and then getting better and better and better at it. The same applies to knocking on the door. 2 doors down. I can not do it, but, it's not like I'm really afraid of them. It's not like I'm shaking there when I'm in front of the door. I mean, the time that I was bullied is long behind me, and I'm a trainer nowadays, so that makes such a difference. I'm a different person compared to who I was. But yeah, some residual influences will still be there. Won't be denying it. But again, taking one step at a time and doing it. Same when it comes to getting the stuff out there for the website. And of course, same when it comes to the invoices, because when it comes to the invoices themselves, they're easy. unless, of course, they change the rules. But when it comes to getting to the next level, yeah, that takes one step at a time and keep going on, being consistent, and everything else just leads up to it. So what's that one thing that you need courage for and which requires consistency and doing things one step at a time? Is there something that spoke to you when I gave all those examples? Or do you have your own example? Well, please share it with me. And remember, it's going to be out there, ladylexi.com/courage challenge. Yeah, I said it in one breath. So that's good. Last weekend of the month. Then it's going to be 3 days on YouTube and Facebook. So I'm using a platform called StreamYard. And nowadays it's got something new, which is getting it also on Instagram. So, things are changing every day, again and again. But it's about being inventive. And, even when we get older, we can still be very inventive when we don't have to surrender to life. We can still make life the way we want it to be. So, again, what is it you want to do? What have you been dreading? And what are you going to do? Let me know. If you want to see more when it comes to courage, then go click over there, and you will see more videos related to courage.